cracking, everybody? How you doing? Saludos, buenos dias. Talking a little bit better. Still swollen, but it is what it is, right? Anyways, I want to address a couple things. I've been getting a lot of questions about prison lately. I can answer some things, but I can't answer all of them. Some are just out of bounds. Others are stuff I'm not feeling comfortable talking about. So, but I will address a couple. Uh, One of the questions I get a lot is, what is it like going to prison for the first time? Um, my experience, it was scary. Anything that's unknown is scary to me. Even when I was paroling, I was scared because I had forgotten what the street was like. So when I first went to prison, it was, I see somebody walking above me with a rifle, and a whole new experience, and it was scary. You know what I mean? Just to be honest, it's not some place you want to go. It's not some place you don't want to be there, and I guess it's the best description I can get. It's just learning. You had to learn everything over. It wasn't like the county anymore. It wasn't like the streets. You had to learn how to do everything over again. What was it like getting out of prison? It was scary. We're not, you get accustomed to being locked up that when you're getting out, like I said, the unknown is the scariest thing. So, me getting out, I was scared that, I used to have dreams that I was going to get killed all the time. So yeah, like I said, it was uncomfortable, it was scary, and just had to learn to deal with it. And this is one of the ones I get a lot, about riots, about prison violence. Now, I can't talk about everything but I can tell you about riots just in general. How do you feel? What are you thinking? What is it like? There's Southside love. Those are all good questions. My legs start shaking every time I'm gonna get into it with on the riot. It's just a nervous tick, a nervous twitch. My leg starts jumping because of I guess all the adrenaline, or it's gonna crack off, and I guess that's what my body does. Is I get a nervous twitch, I start jumping, my legs start jumping around a little bit. I grind my teeth because I know what's coming. So when a riot's gonna jump off, you can plan any which way you want. It's never gonna come out the way you thought it was gonna be. It's always chaos. It's craziness. I've seen people from our own side, because they're too dark, get stabbed. I've seen guys because they're too light get stabbed. There is no organization when it comes to a riot. There's just all out war, and whoever catches it catches it. There's not going to be homies that come out to save you and all that. There's nothing like that. Everybody's pretty much waiting or taking care of themselves. And I've gone through that where I've gone back for people. I've also seen people get hit because they were too dark or too light. I've seen the chaos of a riot. There's no other way to describe it, right? How's your relationship with the cops is another one they talk about. Well, there is no relationship with the cops. I've seen people that talk to cops too much get stabbed. You are not to have a conversation with the cop or at least a prolonged conversation. They're gonna be like, "Yeah, I need a bar of soap. I need some toilet paper." Yes, but to have a conversation with the cop or do business with a cop, it's unless you're making some money off it, you're really not supposed to. And even then, it's to a limit. Uh, like I said, I've seen people that are cool with the cops. They talk to them or whatever, and I see them get stabbed up over it. There is no. If you are on a bad side of a cop, or just put it, if you do not cooperate, in my experience with the cops in some sort of way, you got no love coming. You got no love coming. They used to treat me like if I was enemy number one because I would not cooperate. I would not talk to them. I would not give them information. Even the slightest information might help an officer. You might be able to talk to that CO about that shit. He might tell you the truth. But in my experience, we don't talk to cops. You don't have nothing to do with them. We don't want nothing to do with them. They'll cross you up. They'll hurt you. Do whatever they can. They don't care about you. All they want to do is get a bust and get notches on their belt so they can move up in the world. Like I said, there is no cooperating with cops. There is no talking to them. There's no doing them favors. There's nothing like that when it comes to, as far as I know. And like I said, if you're on the wrong side of a cop, you're going to get fucked with. Me personally, they used to hit my cell all the time. They used to hit my bunks all the time. Nobody wanted to be my cellie over that shit. I was constantly getting the pad hit because they would ask me the simplest question: "What's going on in the yard?" I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm not gonna tell you nothing. Don't ask me nothing. And I did work as a clerk in a reception and I made it very clear to the cop, the CO, not the CO, the counselor, were like, "Hey, don't ask me no questions. I'll tell you no lies. Don't ask me no questions. And if you're gonna ask me questions, just fire me now. I'm out of here." So it got to a point they knew not to ask me questions. I was no over familiarity. Even though I worked with them, there was no joking around. There was no telling them anything. Even to the last day that I worked, they were like, "Well, you going home? Can you tell me what's cracking right now?" I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I told you, don't ask me shit. And so I always got the shit in the stick. When they're hitting my cells, they're making me and my cellie uncomfortable, where my cellie didn't want nothing to do with me because I would piss off the cops because I wouldn't give them anything. Now, those are my experiences in prison. I can't speak for anybody else. I can just tell you from my experiences, that's the thing. Now, if you got any more questions for me, if I can answer them, I will. You know, it's not cool being locked up. You're not getting around brownie points. You're not Mr. Cool. You get locked up. You're in a cell with a bunch of men, showering with a bunch of men, and no women anywhere in sight. It's not someplace you want to go. It's not something you want to do. You want the reality of it. The reality of it is fucked up, and I regret going, just like I know a lot of other people regret going. Now, since everybody thinks going to prison is so cool, let me ask you a question, since everybody asks me a question. Why are so many people coming on YouTube after getting out of prison and trying to deter people from going back? If prison is so cool, why is that? Have a blessed one, you guys.